Hello, guys. I hope you are all doing well. Today, we will read reading text together. Yes. So, yeah, we are gonna analyze a short but powerful text about overthinking. Yeah. I will read and sentence by sentence, actually, and then break it down. So let's begin. Have you ever noticed how your mind becomes louder when everything around you becomes quiet? Yes. Let's start with the expression, have you ever noticed? Yeah, this one. So we use this structure when we want to ask someone whether they have experienced or observed something at any time in their life. Yeah. Now look at the phrase, your mind becomes louder. Yes, your mind becomes louder. Obviously, your mind doesn't literally become louder. This is a metaphor. Yeah, it means that your thoughts become more noticeable. Yes, or intense. Yes, noticeable. Mhm. Um, or intense. Exactly. So we need to pay attention about that. Exactly. And when everything around you becomes quiet, yeah, creates a contrast, right, between external silence and internal noise. Yeah. So the sentence is basically asking, yes, have you ever experienced a situation where the quieter your environment becomes, the louder your thoughts seem to feel? Mhm. So the next sentence we can continue. For many people, silence does not bring peace. Instead, it creates space for thoughts they have been trying to avoid. The phrase bring peace, yes, there's one, means to create a feeling of calmness. Yes. Then we have instead. Yeah. This word introduces a contrast. It tells us that something different happens, yeah, from what we might expect. And create space for something. Yes, create space for something. Means to provide an opportunity for something to appear or develop. Yeah. And notice the tense, have been trying to avoid. Yes. This is the present perfect continuous. We use it for an action that started in the past and has continued over a period of time. Yeah. And the next one. We often replay old conversations, analyze other people's reactions, and imagine possible outcomes that may never actually happen. Yeah. The verb replay. Yes. Actually, this word is very useful here. It means to mentally go through something again. And analyze means to examine something, right? Carefully in order to understand it. And possible outcomes, yes. So means possible results or consequences, right? The phrase may never, yeah, actually happen expresses possibility, right? Yes, we can see possibility here. Notice how the sentence contains three parallel verbs, replay, analyze, and imagine. Yeah. So this is really crucial for us. And this is called parallel structure, and it makes the sentence sound more natural and sophisticated. And the next sentence, the strange thing is that overthinking often feels productive even when it leads us nowhere. Yeah. The expression, the strange thing is that, yeah, is a very natural way to introduce an interesting observation. And lead someone nowhere is an, yeah, very actually useful expression. If something leads you nowhere, yeah, it means that it does not help you make progress. Yeah, it's also very useful. So overthinking can feel as though you are doing something useful, while in reality, you may not be moving forward at all. Yeah. And the next sentence, we convince ourselves that if we think about a problem long enough, we will eventually find the perfect solution. The expression convince ourselves means to make ourselves believe something. Yes. Long enough. Long enough means what? It means for a sufficient amount of time, right? Yeah. And eventually means at some point in the future, after some time. Mhm. This sentence also contains an important conditional structure. If we think, we will find. Yes. So the next sentence. However, some problems cannot be solved simply by thinking harder about them. Yeah. However, exactly. However introduces a contrast. The phrase cannot be solved is an example of the passive voice, right? And simply by doing something means that doing that one thing alone is not sufficient. Yeah, so thinking more is not always the same as solving more. Yeah. Sometimes the real problem is not the situation itself, but our inability to tolerate uncertainty. Yeah. The structure not but, yes, not but, you see, is extremely useful in English. It allows us to contrast two possibilities. The word inability, yes, means a lack of ability. Yes, a lack of ability. Exactly. And tolerate uncertainty means being able to accept a situation without knowing exactly what will happen. Yeah, right. And the next one, we want to know what will happen, how people feel about us, and whether we are making the right decisions. This is another example of parallel structure. Notice the three structures. What will happen, how people feel about us, yeah, and whether we are making the right decisions. The word whether is particularly useful in formal and advanced English. It introduces two possible alternatives, even when the second alternative is not explicitly stated. Yeah, it's really crucial for us. Yet life rarely gives us that kind of certainty. Yes, the next one. Yet is similar to however. But it can sound more, actually, we can say literary. Yeah, that kind of certainty, yeah, refers to complete knowledge about what will happen and rarely means not often. This is a short sentence, but it creates a strong contrast with the previous sentence. Yeah. And the next one, the more, yes, the more desperately we search for absolute answers, the more anxious we may become. Oh, it's really great expression. So this is one of the most important structures in the paragraph. The more, yes. We use this structure to describe two things that change together. For example, the more you practice, the more confident you become, right? Here, desperately, yes, means with a strong and urgent desire. Yeah. And absolute answers, yes, means answers that are completely certain. So the next sentence. Learning to live with unanswered questions is therefore not a sign of weakness, but a form of emotional maturity. The phrase live with something, yes, live with something, means to accept something that cannot easily be changed. Yeah. Unanswered questions, yes, are questions for which we don't have clear answers. And emotional maturity refers to the ability to understand, manage, and accept our emotions in a healthy way. Yeah. Again, we have the structure, not but. Yes, not but. Yeah. Not weakness, but maturity. Yes, we can also say like that. It means accepting that we cannot control every outcome, every relationship, or every person's opinion of us. The phrase it means is extremely useful when explaining an idea. Yeah, it means. Outcome means the final result of a situation. Yeah, and someone's opinion of us means what that person thinks about us. Notice the repetition of every. This creates rhythm and emphasizes the idea that we cannot control everything. Yes. And the next sentence. Instead of asking ourselves, what if everything goes wrong? We can ask, what can I do with what I know right now? Yes, this is a very useful structure. Instead of and verb ing. Yes. So we use it when we want to replace one action with another. For example, instead of worrying, try taking action. And the expression what if is used when we imagine a possible situation or consequence. Yes, it's also really crucial. That small change, the next sentence, that small change in perspective can transform anxiety into action. The word perspective, yes, means the way we see or understand a situation. And transform something into something, yes, transform something into something, means to change one thing into another. So the sentence suggests that changing the way we think can change that we do. Yeah. So the next sentence, we may never completely silence our minds, but we can learn which thoughts deserve our attention and which ones we should simply let pass. Silence our minds. Silence our minds is another metaphor. It means to reduce the constant flow of thoughts. Yes, exactly. The expression deserve our attention means that something is important enough to focus on. Mhm. And finally, let something, yes, let something pass. Yeah, means to allow something to go away, yes, without reacting to it. Mhm. This is a very natural and advanced expression. And the next sentence, perhaps peace does not come from having all the answers. Perhaps it comes from realizing that we do not need them all. Mhm. Yeah, and this is the key idea of the entire paragraph. Notice the repetition of perhaps. Yes, perhaps. It makes the conclusion sound thoughtful rather than absolute. The expression come from means to originate from or be caused by something, right? And realizing means, yeah, becoming aware of or understanding something clearly. So the final message is simple. Maybe peace does not come from knowing everything. Maybe it comes from accepting that we don't have to know everything. And that's the difference between thinking about life and actually living it. So I hope it was really helpful video for you. Thanks for listening and follow me for more.